Hello, dear English learner. Welcome to the channel Easy English. Dear learner, we all are well familiar about it that in the new syllabus of NEP 2020, the new student of literature have to cover what is literature. They have to read, they have to know. It is not so difficult to understand what a literature is. My dear student, we all have an influence, in fact, a deep influence of literature upon us. We need only to understand it in the way. The problem is that we hardly pay attention towards the forms of the literature we use or we are having. That is why, once again, welcome to the video and pay your attention, pay your heed to the words we are discussing over here. It will be beautiful and so much helpful for you in order to know what a literature is. My dear student, literature is a form of art. It is in fact an art in the various forms like painting, drawing, writing, and in the other forms of art that might be telling us about the changing aspects of the society with respect of the time. It tells about the society. How was the society in the previous time? In fact, my dear student, those all means which help us to understand the changing of the time. That is why the things which are helpful to us to understand the changing of the time. These all changing can be understood through the architecture, through the art of writing, through the art of painting, through the other arts by which we need to understand what a literature is. It is the record of the time in a way we can say. Because time to time the work which have been done by the people, by the scholars, by the writers, help us to know what was the time like, what was the culture, what was the tradition, and all other kinds of the philosophies and the thinkings that the people were following in the different ages. So, my dear learner, if you pay attention towards the definition of the literature, you might be saying so, or you will say so. Many of the scholars have already defined it in their way that literature is the mirror of the society. This is the famous maxim or the saying that you might have heard many times if you are the student of the literature, I think so. So, literature is the mirror of the society. Literature is in fact the record of the time, or literature is the form of the art, you can say. There is no any certain or particular definition of literature that you can write or you can cite in your examination. We need only to understand it after the discussion we are making. Once again, I must tell you that the means or the art or the work or the thing which help us to know the passing time, the past time, the past culture that has affected a lot the future or the present or the scenario we have been being familiar with now. So, the literature is the form of art, we can say, that I had already told you, like writing, painting, architecture, and in the form of some other arts. In fact, those all means or the things which help us to know about the changing of the society, what are the factors that change the society, what are those things by which we come to know about the changing of the time or the changing of the culture or the tradition. Those all things are told or supposed to be the literature. This is not so that the written work is only the literature and this comes only under the part of the literature. In fact, this literature has a broad way but not so difficult to understand. So, my dear student, if you have to write the definition of it, Recently, in Jharkhand, in VBU, and in Ranchi University, we have to write, and this is there in the syllabus that we have to read about it, that what is the syllabus. Then in the support of the answer, we should write that it is the mirror of the society, it is the form of the art, it is the record of the time, and it is there in the various forms of the art, which help us to know the changing aspects of the society in every aspect. My dear student, hope it would have helped you a lot. Please stay connected with my videos, comment on this. I shall be helping you if it would be possible, the queries you might be having and the problems you have in your mind. So comment and tell me what next you want. Thank you so much.